Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.
Hey, fine folks, this is Freedom Fighter, and welcome to Saturday Night Dialogues. I understand in some places across the country that got some snow, it is beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I hope that everyone enjoyed your Thanksgiving with family, friends, having fun, getting fat. I know my belt buckle busted a little bit, but it's all good. It was worth it for all the cheesecake and pound cake that I had, so I'm grateful and I'm very thankful for that. So I hope everyone is well. Let's jump into some prayer. We got a fantastic jam-packed call for you tonight, and so we want to get right into it. Father God, again, as we thank you, we always thank you. Thank you for being a God of peace, a God of love, and unconditional love. We thank you for our families. We thank you for our loved ones. We thank you for this community, this tribe. We thank you for the growth, the word that is getting out to the world, literally. Thanks to you, Father God. Thank you for Goldilocks, Wiley. We thank you for our friend Jester and others who have contributed to this room. We thank you for allowing us to be here once again. We ask that you allow everyone who hears this call to be able to receive it and understand it, and then execute the information that Goldilocks, myself, and Wiley has been sharing with people, so that people that participate can receive the results that many of our members are having. But we know it's all coming from you, Father God, so we thank you. Folks, real quick, don't forget, Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room, Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That room is growing rapidly over the last week since last Saturday. That room has grown an additional 500 members. People are being very, very, just the joy, the love in the room is amazing. It continues to grow. Members that continue to help other members to when they're new coming into the room. To learn how to establish relationships with wealth managers the way they are doing, based on how Wiley and myself are teaching them from the information that we, of course, have been getting from Goldilocks for several months, over a year or so, preparing for this moment. So that's Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room. Higher Learning with Anastasia, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursdays. Last Thursday, the topic was, Anastasia did readings for anyone, celebrity. Anyone had a celebrity, dead or alive. People got confirmations on JFK. People got confirmations on Elon Musk, Michelle Obama, several others, Ellen DeGeneres, and many other people. Next Thursday's topic will be family or friends, dead or alive, readings live on the call by Anastasia. Dee's Room. Dee's Room is where she drops many articles related to the RV around the clock. in her room. Don't forget. And then Dave Rose Big Dog in the crypto finance room. If there's anything related to crypto, you want to be in that room to get that information. Quite a few members have been sharing their gratitude for the insights that Dave Rose Big Dog shares in that room. And then, of course, Goldilocks Global Banking News, your daily podcast, whereby you're able to hear the audios that we provide on the RV firsthand from Goldilocks. And the global reach of Goldilocks is continuing and rapidly growing. Just last Saturday, on Saturday night's call, we announced a major milestone of reaching over 10,000 subscribers. Now, this Saturday, it's at over 10,840. I'm confident if it hadn't been for the holiday, Thanksgiving, we would be at 11,000, which is almost 1,000 in a week. But ladies and gentlemen, it's a true testament to the truth, the facts that Goldilocks is sharing, in large in part. It's you, the people in the room, who are the actual receipts of what Goldilocks has been sharing with the banking system and preparing us for, and Wiley and myself in the room sharing how to establish relationships with the actual bankers. Wiley drops many golden nuggets, platinum gems in the room on wealth establishment and wealth in the room. And we have so many members, you're going to hear from some of them tonight, who actually are establishing those relationships with actual bankers. So that being said about the growth of Goldilocks Global Banking News, we're in the spirit of Thanksgiving. I would like to thank all of those people, whether you're on Telegram, X, or any room, wherever you're at on the internet. I would like to thank you for mentioning Goldilocks' name. Good, bad, or indifferent, you actually contribute to the growth of these channels. Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room and Goldilocks Global Banking News. Thank you for getting Goldilocks' name out there more and more to the people. One thing I know, God has a sense of humor. He knows how to use people for his greater good. Even when some people think by mentioning Goldilocks' name in an ill will, God just laughs and says, thank you for getting the word out. This is why so many people are joining the rooms, and they're being drawn to members like you're going to hear from tonight that are actually establishing relationships with the bankers who are going to exchange their currency and build their wealth. So again, we are in the spirit of Thanksgiving. Thank you for all of you who continue to mention Goldilocks' name. You're doing a wonderful job. Thank you. Now, you're going to hear from one of the members, this all being said, who actually has a banker coming to her home to meet with her. It is phenomenal. Then you're going to hear from a member who also talks about hitting the jackpot and her follow-up meeting with her bankers. Then you're going to hear from a member who, with her private wealth management team, she has now gone to a whole nother level in her preparation for her exchange and her wealth management. And then you're going to hear from another member who, from a tier 1 bank, is now connected to a private wealth management firm. You all have heard these members. We have several members whom you have not heard from, who has shared their updates, but some of them aren't able to make the call, and some of them would rather remain anonymous and not be on a call. But I'll tell you this, for those of you who are listening to this call on YouTube or wherever you're hearing it from, there is going to be a link. There is a link in the top of the description that for free you can join many members who have established relationships with bankers. They're no longer on the roller coaster hearing or believing, oh, the HCL, oh, the Sudani said this is going to happen. Oh, December, the such and such date, victory garbage, and the RV's going to happen. Folks, that happens every year, every holiday. It's the same thing. But our members know better. Our members who are establishing relationships, especially, and who have been following Goldilocks in the process of the RV, there is a certain level of peace that they have in knowing and seeing, following the process that Goldilocks is sharing consistently every day, that they can follow and navigate and see the blueprint that Goldilocks is putting out every day. And then they're able to follow the steps that we're sharing in the room to establish relationships with these actual bankers. And they're able to confirm and validate what Goldilocks has been sharing. They can validate that information with the actual bankers that they have relationships with now. They have gotten off the guru foo-foo train. They left it back at the station a long time ago. If you want to join these members who have established relationships with the actual bankers, click the link in the top of the description. It costs you nothing. It's absolutely free, and you are welcome to join us and learn. Also, when you join the room, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice to help you when it comes to the questions that people are learning that they've gotten in the room presented by Wiley. I would encourage you when you join the room to ask for the steps. There's 9 steps that members are following to establish their relationships with these bankers. Again, you're going to hear from these members tonight. I encourage you to ask for the steps that includes the step for the questions that folks are establishing these relationships with the actual bankers. Because if you just come into the room and say, hey, where's the questions? What you're asking for is step number 5, whereby there's a few other steps before that to help you with those questions to be prepared to have the same success as the members you're going to hear from tonight. Hope that makes sense. All right, folks, we're going to jump right into it. My beautiful brunette grand. Are you here, young lady?
Yes, I am.
I love your voice. I love you, young lady. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing very good right now. A little chunky from the holiday.
I'm so full.
Yes. Now, I'm going to read something you posted into the room, and I would love for us to get into this and you share with these folks. Folks, this is Brunette Grant, whom many of you have already heard from. She had shared some very good success with establishing her relationships, and then she ran into a little speed bump. And she ran into a little speed bump with a wealth manager from a tier 1 bank. She was a little distraught, a little beaten up, but that's okay. We wrapped our arms around her with love. She continued on. and now I got to read this to you so you know what she's talking about. So she posted into the room. So I got a hold of one of the top 5 wealth manager centers on Wiley's list. The lady I chose is a wealth manager for women, and she's been doing this for 30 years. She's coming to my house to make it easier for me on December the 10th. Got to bake nut breads and have coffee made. So when she posted this, the room went crazy. So the Brunette Grand has the actual banker coming to her home. And I shared with her that typically once the relationship is established with these bankers, they have no problem coming to your home. And actually, listen to this. You're going to get to a point, folks, where for those of you who establish your relationships, once you exchange your currency and you have this wealth and you have a wealth manager that's already in place like Brunette Grand, typically that is when the wealth managers, the actual bankers, they'll come to your home. They'll meet you wherever if you call them 2 o'clock in the morning to say you have an idea, you have a question about investments with your money, most likely they're going to answer. They're going to be at your every beck and call, but this is usually after someone has the wealth. Brunette Grand has the banker coming to her home before she is even exchanging her currency. Now, I wonder if Brunette Grand is going to sprinkle some love dust in the banana nut bread that she has cooking up for this wealth manager coming. All I know is if Brunette Grand gets an extra 10 million deposited into her account, we know why. And I want to place my order for some of this banana nut bread or whatever you cooking for this banker coming to your home. I want to get an extra few million in my account too once I exchange.
Well, since it's a morning appointment, I just wanted to make it important and have the great hospitality for the snacks.
Now, I would love for you to share your authentic story, because people have been hearing from you, but they didn't know that you actually ran into a little speed bump with this wealth manager at this tier 1 bank. If you can share a little bit about that and then how things turn around for you to where you're at now, where you're having the banker come to your home.
Okay. Well, I did have a relationship. It was awesome. I mean, it was going fine. As a matter of fact, I was already in my 4th meeting, already set up a wealth plan. I had the whole thing. A little snag along the way. He didn't know that I held currency because I did not mention that. I said that I had an inheritance coming in. But somehow along the way, there has been a lot of people coming in saying that they had the currency and Jamie Dimon and all this stuff. So
Guru Fufu.
His what do you call it? His what is that cat? What's the cat? The Curiosity. Curiosity killed the cat, and he asked me. He says, "Do you by chance have the currency?" I said, "Why do you ask?" He said, "Well, we've been having a lot of people coming in here, and that's not true. It's not true." And
they're coming in talking about Jamie Dimon.
Yeah.
Garbage. That's Guru Fufu, folks. That's Guru Fufu. Although Jamie Dimon has been, in Iraq, but the gurus have been telling people to say these things, and now they're running out to the banks, and it made an issue for Brunette Grand. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think and so now he just quit responding. He won't even answer emails or anything. And so I was hurt by that because I did not go in like these people have been doing. I went in professionally, did the whole thing that I was supposed to do. He answered all the questions that Wiley had. We went over those. I mean, everything was completed. Well, I was done.
Right.
And so I decided, and I was upset. Freedom Fighter knows, Wiley knows, but they helped me. You helped me through it, and I'm not a quitter.
Right.
So I decided, you know what? I'm just going to take a different route for now. I'm going to go ahead and call the wealth. I knew because Wiley had him on the list of one of the top 5 wealth Management Center. So I had called a lady. I did a lot of research on her first, and I said, oh my goodness, I love this lady already. So I called her, and she called me, and she sent an email first, and then asked me what days and times and all that, and I told her. So she called, and I explained to her, I'm looking for a wealth manager that I'm going to be using in the near future, and I would like to see if I can get together with you and discuss what you can do for me. And I told her I was really that I did check on her profile and everything. And I told her I was really impressed with the fact that she is a wealth manager for women. And she's into a lot of things, a lot of stuff. And she's a multitasker. So she has all kinds of things she does. So, and she said, well, yeah, she goes, would you like to meet? Would you like to come over here, or would you like for me to come out there? I said, oh, you do that? I didn't know you did that. Well, yeah, that'd be fine. So she said, all right. She said, that's fine. She goes, let me look at my calendar. I got to pull over because she said
she was driving.
Yeah, she was driving.
Okay.
So she pulled over and she was looking at her calendar, and she said, how about December the 10th? I said, perfect. She goes, well, I'll give you confirmation. And I asked her, I said, is it okay if I send some questions over to you? She goes, oh, sure, go ahead and do that. So I did that. As soon as I hung up the phone, questions are on the way. So we are going to meet up December the 10th at my house.
Wow. This is, I love it, because this is a true story, a testament of resilience. So folks listening, Brunette Grand was already ready with a tier 1 bank. You all have heard her story before and her success before. And then, and it was in her area, a bunch of people with guru breath calling it and said, I know what this is. Where a lot of folks want to be copycats of what we're doing, not really understanding how to do and teach what we're doing with our members. And so it actually was a blessing in disguise for you, Brunette Grand, because you're meeting someone that most likely you would have preferred to have been connected to for your wealth management in the first place.
Most definitely. It was a blessing in disguise for sure. And I'm so glad that it ended up that way. But I've also got what they're going to do with the bank I have now. They're getting ready. They're going to try and get me set up with another financial advisor at another bank branch. And
okay, I'm glad you said that. Go ahead. I was just getting ready to go there, but you brought it up. Go ahead.
And then they're going to go ahead and try and get a Zoom call set up for me. So I told them, well, that'd be fine sometime after the Thanksgiving holiday. So hopefully I'll hear back from them next week too. So
excellent, because it's great to have options. And also the tier 1 bank that you initially went to, they can be considered as an option as well, just not that particular wealth manager who got spooked from all the guru folks calling and spooking them. Yeah. You have options, but the route that you want to go with this particular wealth manager from this private wealth firm who is a wealth manager and who mainly focuses on women. That is so awesome. She's coming to your home.
Yes, I went down there's quite a few in that center. So I just went down and then when that one popped up and I said for women, just something about it. It just, you know what? I kind of like that. And I like the number of years, but it's all the other experience that's listed there as well. And all the philanthropy she's in and charity. I just love it.
Also what is so good also, folks listening, and for you, Brunette Grand, is to understand this is something that we've shared before. And when it comes to private wealth, folks, private wealth management firms, they have a little more flexibility than wealth managers at a tier one bank. Because banks are more regulated. Now, of course, there's nothing wrong with a wealth manager at a tier one bank. I'm just letting you all know the facts of the banking industry, in that there's a little more flexibility with investments, the amount of investments, the aggressiveness of some of the strategies for investing. Private wealth management firms may have a little more flexibility. So that's just something I want to just share with you all. So you have options, and Brunette Grant, you have an opportunity to diversify, with private wealth and at a tier one, if you want to, and so forth and so on.
Yep, I'm ready.
That's so awesome. And what I see is that it's amazing. I see that there is going to be even more additional opportunities with private wealth for you. It's weird because I still feel as if that tier one bank is still going to be in your portfolio for some reason.
Yeah, I believe they are. And like I told you today, that, the assistant vice president, which is the one that opened my checking account, because I'd already had had a savings account.
Right. He called you.
Yeah, but then I went ahead and opened the checking account later. So he's the one that called today, 3 weeks later.
Right. Uh-huh.
He had asked me if, how's everything doing? Everything okay? Did you get your debit card? I see, I got my debit card, but I just left it.
That's right. I'm glad you brought this up, because this gentleman, folks, this is this VP that called Brunette Graham. See, he is actually over that wealth manager that snubbed you.
Yeah, they were.
You say that again?
They work together. I've met with them when they're together. There's like it was together talking with me, so they are together. Mm-hmm.
They don't want to lose your business. This is why he followed up with you.
Yeah.
In 3 weeks after that wealth manager got cold feet from all the guru foo-foo people calling. So they don't want to lose your business, but What'd you say?
Sorry, so sad.
Right. Because you done moved on.
I'm not the type to wait and sit around and wait for other opportunities to come. I'm going to get out there and done, because you and Wiley helped me, push me to get, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. When you posted in the room that you had that issue, I was like, what? Can you talk? Were you surprised that I just called you?
Yeah, that was awesome.
I was like,
I really appreciate that, and Wiley, because it picked me back up, and I was raring to go.
And I called you, and I was texting Wiley at the same time, and then Wiley was on with you.
Yes.
We had to get you. We had to get you together, young lady. We don't believe in leaving anyone behind, but we absolutely 100% will not leave you behind.
Well, I know you won't, and I'm not going to leave myself behind either. So that's that.
Right. Exactly. I want some banana nut bread and cheesecake someday, so I'm going to be on my best behavior and taking care of you. We're so excited for your redemption story, and it's only going to get better from here. It's only going to get better now.
I believe that.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, beloved. We appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. And now, I just love that. Just think about it, folks, where, that's so amazing. She was all set up and ready. And this is why we try to educate you folks to stay away from the guru breath. Because where she's located, they started bombarding that location where she was at, and It threw a monkey wrench in her situation. Just imagine what it would do for you if you were one of these people going into a bank talking about, oh, Jamie Dimon, blah, 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 blah. They're in Iraq, blah, blah, blah. This is the guru foo-foo stuff. This is what we want you to avoid. And the majority of see, our members, they know not to go in there like that. That's why they have the success that they're having. So now the one and only glass half full. If you can unmute my beautiful lady.
Hello.
How you doing? How you doing? Good. Cha-ching, jackpot going on over here. Just when we thought your last meeting with your bankers, you posted in the room, I'm just ready for the RV.
Well, I was.
Well, then you had another meeting. What something happened? And I got to read this. This is what she posted, folks. She says, I must report that I didn't think I could have a better planning session than my last one, but wow, I have hit the jackpot. I'm so happy I did the work, homework, and study, all because of you and Wiley. Cha-ching. Wow. Now what happened now?
Well, I had my 4 wealth managers that I was debating about, and I went to my number one choice from our original meeting. And that was my meeting a couple of weeks ago that I thought was great. I love him, and I loved everything he said, and I loved his plan and everything.
Tier 1 bank, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to confirm.
Yeah, all of these are tier 1. Mm-hmm. Well, the first one that I booted out was not, but
okay. Okay.
I thought, okay, well, I've got to give, this other one a chance too. So I thought I'm going to do it now. I'm not going to wait. Mm-hmm. I want to know, I want to feel, that I've made the right choice. So I made an appointment. I went down and saw her, and, the small talk and stuff. But then I told her, I said, I am interviewing a number of wealth managers. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to lead you on that. I'm going to just use you immediately. And well, that piqued her interest because then she wanted to make sure that I knew everything that was available that she could say, And she really spilled a lot of beans on the proprietary software that they have that would actually legally enable tax avoidance. And I thought the way she explained it, I thought, oh man, I like that. That makes such good common sense.
Music to your ears.
Yes, sir. And and then all the other things. Another beautiful thing that they had that I thought was just brilliant is she will manage my kids' money, their investments, without having a minimum portion that most wealth managers require. It would just be under my umbrella, and she would treat them as if they were part of my program. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
I thought that was wonderful that she would help my kids and with their.
Was it family office?
No, it was not a family office. No, that's okay. I mean, this was just under a normal my account.
Okay.
Yeah. And they have a team, and a state attorney, obviously not practicing, but advising. And they have a whole team, the investment team and the bankers, the private bankers that will do anything. All I have to do is make a call and they'll handle any banking needs. It's just an all comprehensive program, and she was making sure I knew it all.
I love it. Just when you thought it couldn't get any better, it did.
That's right. It did.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. Congratulations, beautiful. Congratulations. And folks, Glass Half Full and Brunette Grant, I don't want to fail to mention, and everyone you're going to hear from tonight, these are folks that are in the room every day, helping, guiding, teaching other members to do the same thing. It is just amazing. These are the actual leaders and teachers in the room. Besides Wiley and myself, it's the community, the people like Glass Half Full, who, I mean, in Glass Half Full, the advice that she gives, I mean, she has some golden nuggets on her own that she's shared into the room that other members are like, oh, let me write that down. Let me take that note. What did she say? Let me say that. It's so awesome. I'm so excited for you. I don't know. You might have another one. You might hit the jackpot again next week.
You never know. You never know. Once you
Wow.
start doing this, it becomes fun. You're so nervous to begin with. You don't know what to say, what to do, but you do it a couple of times, and you know what? Hey, I'm going to make sure that I've got the right person for me or people. Right. I'm going to actually use both of them. For different reasons.
I'm sure one has proprietary software for tax
for sure.
benefits.
Yeah, but I mean, and it's now not intimidating. Now it's you feel confident. You have the knowledge from the room. You got to go to the room and ask questions and get out there and get ready.
So you speak their language now. You speak their language. You speak the language of the bankers. You're not going in there with guru foo breath Jamie Dimon talk. Exactly. You're going in there intelligently and prepared. You're following the process, the RV. And folks, I want to make sure I say this again. Glass Half Full and many members in our room, they are following the process of the RV that Goldilocks is sharing. Most of the people in our room are no longer on the roller coasters of the gurus, hearing all the lies every weekend, every holiday, all this stuff to get this anxiety. They have a certain level of peace in understanding the process that they are learning from the actual sources that Goldilocks has been providing. And you compare that. Now they have a package with what Wiley and I are sharing in the room to establish these relationships at the banks. And these are things that Goldilocks told us was going to happen with the banks months in advance. So the process in advance. So now we're able to give our members the steps to go to the banks, and it all works out perfectly, like you just heard from Glass Half Full and Brunette Graham. Did I share anything that was incorrect, Glass Half Full?
No, not at all. So 100% correct. And helping Gran when she had her hiccup. I mean, you guys are there. You're there for everybody. You just got to come in and quit lurking and move forward.
Yeah. Thank you. And you're going to be helping me a little later to read this article from Iraq. So right. I appreciate you, folks. Glass Half Full, Brunette Grand, they're in the room like other members helping. You want to learn how they did what they're doing? Click the link at the description right at the top. Join for free. We're all here. Thank you, beautiful. We appreciate you. All right.
Okay, thanks.
And thank you. Wow. Proprietary software on tax. Legal tax benefits. I'll use that word. Wow. Yeah, interesting. Garlic String Bean, where are you? I mean, String Bean. I call you Garlic String Bean, but String Bean, if you can unmute, young lady. Where is my Garlic String Bean?
Can you hear me?
There you go. How you doing? I had a side of garlic string beans with my turkey and stuffing. I was just fine. And thank you for your teachable moment on my turkey, because that was my first time cooking a turkey. Thanks to you, I took it out 3 days in advance.
It's all good.
Oh, man. So now you posted in the room, you said, I had my second follow-up with the private-owned wealth management company that I told you and Wiley about. This time he reached out to me by phone. It went quite well. I'm very pleased how things are coming along. Wow. So I don't know why I didn't realize that you connect. Is this the same private wealth management firm that Sally I Am is connected to, or a different one?
A different one.
What? Wow. Okay. Please do share. If you don't, just as little as you can. You don't have to go into detail.
Oh, okay. Because I have details.
Oh, I know, folks. Let me tell you something about this young lady. Her details, taking notes. Stream Being knows everything. When I say everything, I mean everything about the bankers she's met with. She knows the schools they go to. She knows how many degrees they have, where they got them from, their GPAs, their shoe size, their blood type. She knows everything. It also, Stream Being is her best buddy, Sally I Am, used to have meetings, Dinar meetings in Sally's hair salon, and they will have potlucks. And they were listening to all the guru calls, and they were preparing. They had their currency out. They had their spreadsheets, and in fact, they talked about how scared they were. They were told not to talk about. Shh! Don't talk about the RV, or it is a secret, top secret. No one can know about it, or it's not going to happen. Isn't that what y'all were saying?
That's true. I'm trying to block it out of my mind.
Oh man! So now, so share this greatness that's going on with this private wealth meeting that you just had.
So I already had my tier 1, which you guys knew about, through the regular bank, and won't name the bank. And so I love this person. Matter of fact, I still plan to use them.
Okay,
but
so you're going to diversify.
Yes.
Okay.
So after listening to so many wonderful bank stories, I thought, I need to see what else is out there as well. Mm-hmm. So I contacted this private wealth management company, which is about maybe 2 hours from me. Mm-hmm. And they reached back out to me, and I told them that I was coming into some wealth, and that I just wanted to see what was out there, and that I already have a bank, but I also wanted to see what else was out there that was being offered. And so I said I had some questions that I wanted to ask. And he told me, he said, if you want to, you can send me the questions, and then we can get back together and go over those questions however you want to do it. So I did send him the questions, and he said to me, he was very impressed with Wally's questions, by the way. And I thought, wow, this is really good. And so he answered my questions, and then he sent me a message and said, when would be a good time to talk? So we set up an appointment, and that was this week. And we were on the phone for about an hour, a little bit over an hour, and he was answering all my questions. And what I love about this company is they have their whole teams there, from the estate planning to CPA, financial advisors, all of that. And it's like I wouldn't have to reach out to anyone else.
One-stop shop.
One-stop shop. And he said that he stays involved in all of the each area, because when it comes to your money, he wants to make sure that he's aware of what's going on, so that if there was any questions, he would be able to answer them for me. So I love that about him. He's been with this company, 20 years.
Wow.
But being in the field, 10 years, and was in the field for like 32 years with another company.
Wow.
So he's been around for a while. And one of the things that he had said to me was, it's so important that we also know what's going on with our money, and make sure that we are the main person that's a part of that team.
Right.
And that everything that we do, that he would be able to make sure that I understood it.
Right.
Being a part of the team. And it's about me as the individual or my family. And that's his job, is to make sure that he makes money for us.
Right. Right.
So I like that. So my plan is to have both the tier 1 bank and also the private wealth.
Okay. Okay, good, good. That sounds like also what Brunette Grand is going to be doing, and several other people as well. That's very,
Mm-hmm.
very, very smart. Yeah, that's smart. Wow, I love it. And with the um with the team, everyone is in house under the same umbrella. That is also a huge plus because the communication internally within that team, it's going to be seamless. And there should be one that they appoint as the point of contact for that team. If they haven't identified who that person is, they eventually will.
And that's what he was saying. He said that you could call at any point if he wasn't there, and someone will be able to tell me what's going on with my accounts.
Got it.
And it wouldn't be just one person, but they work as a team. And so they have like the what was it, estate planning, CPA, family office, which I'm not sure what all family office is or what that consists of, but I had the same questions that was being asked as far as when it comes to your children, because that's a biggie for me as
Right.
far as an inheritance being left.
Yeah, family office will cover that, and they'll go over that in more detail. I don't need to do that on the call tonight, but that
Yes.
definitely is what the family office. That's about leaving a legacy, and while you're living in your children. So they'll go into detail. That is what I just love it. I love it. I love it. Now, I should have asked Brunette Grand and Glass Half Full this, but I'm gonna ask you now since I have you on. Now, now that you've gone through the process of establishing these relationships with these bankers, both at Tier 1 bank and now at a private wealth management firm, can you explain what do you think the difference would be if you were someone just waiting for the RV to happen with these notifications that's supposedly going to come, and emails people are supposed to get? Now that you've gone through this process, can you explain what do you think the difference would be?
The difference would be going in there knowing that you already have a team set up, versus waiting on the number that you may or may not get, or finding out that it's time to go and you still don't know what you're doing, that you have no clue what to expect.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I've received a email from the Tier 1 bank this week as well. I forgot to mention that. And they just wanted to reach out and wish me a happy Thanksgiving. And that whenever it was time for me to do what I needed to do, that they're there.
Wow. See, because folks, what String Bean has done and will continually do is to further establish on these relationships where there is each meeting, each communication, they're going to get more and more comfortable with you. And as they get more and more comfortable with you, they're going to begin to open up and reveal more to you. Just like with Glass Half Full, where they talked about the proprietary software for tax. I'm going to use my words, not Glass Half Full's words. Tax benefits. Even though that's proprietary to that particular financial institution, they obviously have a level of comfort with Glass Half Full to expose that and explain that to her. That is not something they'll just readily explain or expose to just anybody, to just any client. So what you're going to find, String Bean, is these bankers, there are things that they know that they can and are willing to do for your money. Once you exchange, the more comfortable they get with you, they're going to start to divulge that to you. That's just how the industry works. Because also, again, this is what Brunette Grand ran into with that initial Tier 1 bank. There are folks out there that are encouraging people in Dinar land to go and call these banks, and they don't know what to say. They don't know how to approach them. They're just trying to piggyback off of what they're doing, what we're doing. So I would like to really take this opportunity to extend some encouragement and an invitation to anyone. I don't care if you have a room, you have a channel, whatever it may be, or you don't. You are more than welcome to come and learn from us so that we can help you to help people. Now, it's I gotta say what it is. It is because of Goldilocks and what Goldilocks has prepared us for to understand with the banking system. We have an advantage. Yes. With Wiley having the going through the wealth management building experience himself personally, we have an advantage. With Freedom Fighter having just a little bit of background in international banking, you have a little advantage. I don't like to toot my own horn. I like to stay humble. But this is the advantage we have. So, and this is where, folks, the saying goes, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. We care about our people. This is why we pour into them. It's not about what we know, who we know. It's not about, oh, I know a banker somewhere. I know a high level source somewhere. Where's the receipts? The people. String Bean, her results with her private wealth receipts. Brunette Grand, the banker coming to her home on December the 10th to get what swayed and wooed with delicious coffee and baked goods. Receipts. Glass half full. Jackpot. Proprietary software from a banking institution to help her to take advantage of tax benefits. Receipts. Because we care. Our members, it's so true. People don't care how much you know. People talk about all what they know. People running behind Goldilocks, mentioning Goldilocks' name. Bring them on. Let them come to our room. Thank you. You want to act like you know more? That's fine. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Where are the fruits of your labor? This is what it's about. We want to pour into our members. String Beans, we're so excited for you.
I am so excited too, because it's just a piece. It's becoming very fun now.
You sound like glass half full.
It's becoming very fun. I mean, because you don't have that. I mean, to be honest, and Sally, I am, she knows what I'm talking about with this. Being with the Guru Fufu for 4 years, and I used to tell my husband every week it was going to happen. So, after a while, that was getting kind of old. He's kind of give me the side eye look like, oh, okay, there she goes again, and he listens now to the replays.
Oh.
And I have him on the YouTube. Told him where to go on YouTube to also listen. And he said, about a couple of weeks ago, he said, that Wally list of questions is pretty good. And so he's listening, and he's coming around. And I'm so thankful to just get off of that roller coaster, because after a while, he was just looking at me like, okay, there she goes. There's another weekend to pass. Let's see what the next weekend will bring.
And the next holiday, and then the next
3-day weekend, and it's just different now. So,
it's amazing you mentioned that, because so many people over the years have lost their family, lost loved ones, lost their lives, lost their homes, lost their cars, lost their jobs, lost so much by just listening to the fufu. And many of us were on that train at one time, but we're just grateful that we're all here now, and God has provided, a place where we can come together. Goldilocks is bringing all of the nuggets, and then Wiley, the questions that folks that String Being is talking about, the questions separate you from anyone else, because the bankers know that you come intelligently. Now I'm gonna say this to you: the questions aren't magic, so don't expect to come in with guru breath and anxiety. I just want the questions. Give me the questions so I can send them in and expect a result. There is a level of deprogramming and relearning some of the things that you've been taught in guru land. And it doesn't take long if you just come into the room, and the momentum in the room, the momentum of the people, I like what Dave Rose Big Dog says: stop, look, and listen. If you stop, look, and listen and pay attention in the room, you're going to begin to be deprogrammed. You're going to unlearn some of the things that you thought were true. And then you take that with the questions that Wiley has shared in the room with the people that are wrapping our arms around you and educating you. You might be having a banker sit at your dining room table soon, like Brunette Grant. You might be having also a bank and their proprietary software for tax benefits, like Glass Half Full, and a private wealth management firm and diversifying, and your husband or your spouse, whoever, saying to you, you know what, honey? I think you're on the right track now.
Yes.
Because it comes down to the unconditional love that Goldilocks, Wiley, myself, and the members and their unconditional love are pouring into the room. It's not about myself, Wiley, or Goldilocks. It's we, the people. It's you all. And we love it. Thank you, my garlic string bean.
You're welcome. And I would just say to just keep on lurking in the room, because it's getting inside of you and it's changing you, whether you realize it or not. And it's building the confidence for you to reach out and say, hey, I'm new here and I'm ready to do this.
Mm-hmm. There you go. And sometimes it might be tough love, folks, because we're going to test you sometime a little bit to make sure you really, oh, that's right, String Bean, you went through your little phase of tough love, didn't you?
Yes. I sure did, but I stayed.
You stayed. Now look at you. Now look where you at. And you're one of the teachers in the room now. You're one of the leaders. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
But awesome. Congratulations, beloved. Congratulations. And it's only going to get better from here. Now you're having fun. Just imagine. You don't need somebody to tell you they got relationships with bankers, because why? You got your own relationships with bankers now.
I know, because before it was like sackcloth and ashes.
Sackcloth and ashes. It's amazing. I mean, literally, you have your own banker relationships. Glass Half Full, Brunette Graham, members in the room. You all have your own relationships with bankers. Literally. You don't need someone to tell you that they got high-level source bankers that don't exist. You got your own. Just imagine having your own. Just imagine you have your own banker. And how much just for those listening, I got to ask this rhetorical question. How much did it cost you, String Bean, to establish these relationships, do all this?
Not one dime. Other than opening up my bank account with them, that was it. And it's just good. I mean, the level of confidence that you guys have given us in the room and believing in us that we can do it, you can't even put a price on it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's what it's just God working through us. That's just God working through us. We're just doing our part and serving him by serving you. That's what it's all about. You're welcome, beloved. Thank you. And folks, all you got to do at the top of the description, there's a link in the description. Click it. You can join the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room. We are there. We are there. The last person you're going to hear from, and then we're going to get into this amazing article by Iraq. The next one is the unique Lady Unique. You can unmute, young lady.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can hear you. You doing all right?
Yes, I am. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. It just seems like every week you have another and a new relationship. You done moved up another level. You done went from the VP to the president to the advisory board. Folks, this young lady, you all have heard her story, but I got to share something. I'm going to share something in the room that's going to blow your mind. First, yeah, I just have to share it. But at first, you all remember this is the young lady where the VP of the branch, when she was walking out, he walked up to her, whispered in her ear that she's on their contact list for exchange. This is at a tier 1 bank. Now, since then, she has been invited to an advisory board of this tier 1 bank, which she declined because she's too busy. She's had her currency authenticated. She's been proposed to 3 times by wealth managers. But I'm going to read this. This is what she posted to the room just the other day. It's so funny. She says, been doing some homework. While I was at the store, I saw the VP. He waved and said, Happy Thanksgiving. I was surprised to see him there. In fact, I didn't notice till he spoke. He had on no suit, no tie. And so I asked her, I says, is this the banker that also opened the door for you and told you were on their list for currency exchange? And she said, yep, the one that opened the door. So was this the grocery store? What store was, I don't know if you could tell. Was this the grocery store?
Yeah, grocery store. I was really surprised. I wasn't paying any attention. I'm trying to hurry up and get back home and get back on board with you guys and get and cook at the same time. And I was kind of like, oh my gosh. I was surprised.
He recognized you.
Yeah, he recognized me.
I'm telling you, I think he's stalking you. I think he think you got a stalker. Yo, this is a banker who's stalking you. Did he get down on one knee in aisle 7 and propose? What's going? How do you do this? But you also have, and I'm not sure if you want to share, but you also have an update on. It's detailed. You don't have to share the extreme details, but you got a follow-up call from the banker. In fact, and before I mention that, folks, I didn't mention this before about Lady Unique. I don't want to fail to mention this now. But the tier 1 bank that she is connected to, when you hear her talking about her wealth management meetings, it is actually not with the tier 1 bank, but it's actually with a global wealth management firm that the tier 1 bank is affiliated with. I'm going to repeat that. I didn't mention this before. The tier 1 bank that Lady Unique, where she had her currency authenticated, where they told her, this gentleman vice president told her that she was on their contact list for exchange, and also saw her at the grocery store before Thanksgiving at the vegetable aisle, that the wealth management firm that they connected her with is a global private wealth management firm affiliated with the tier 1 bank. So this is how they have graduated her, elevated her to the wealth management firm that is actually affiliate, and that's huge. Now, you had a call. You got a telephone call recently from the private banker. I'm not sure if you want to share this, and there was some discussions. Okay,
I don't mind
and some.
sharing that right now.
You don't mind? Okay, and there was some discussions about a trust.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
You don't have to give the details of the trust, but because that's a little personal and private. But if you can share, you just got this phone call around, was it around Thanksgiving? You got this follow-up call?
Right before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah. It was unexpected. Again, good evening, guys. No, just to back up a little bit, I had a meeting, as Freedom Fighter shared with you, and I had shared before. First, I had it with my senior banker, and my next meeting after that was with, which I thought at the time, because we had the discussion about connecting with wealth management team, and they had in the background, I didn't find out till later, they were like building a profile or whatever. So my next meeting was actually with the assistant vice president of finance advisory for the company that is affiliated with my bank. Blew my mind. So I had the conversation with the assistant VP, and as I shared before in their presentation, they answered or described what they do in the questions that I had that I was going to ask, that I kind of hinted at a little bit. In their description of what they do, they answered those questions without me really asking. I had hit, just kind of tapped the glass a little bit, see what was going to happen, but they just took it and ran with it. Fast forward, after meeting with the assistant VP, I was advised then that I was going to, she's going to get, they had a team that they were putting a profile wealth management team, and everything that I had discussed of my goals and what I wanted to do, and how I wanted to set them up, and guidance. And I will mention this, there's something that I do want to do in a family office, a little bit different than some of the other things. So I got kind of tiers of what I want to do.
Okay.
Anyway, so they touched on that, and they said, yeah, we can do that. And she said, you're our client. We're going to take care of you. We'll get back with you, get the team and everything together. And she told me after Thanksgiving. And I said, fine. I get a phone call on November the 20th from a private banker from the firm that's associated with my bank. And the way when the private banker called, he introduced himself and said that he had came across my name on some info that he had, and I'm like, what?
He read your profile.
Yeah, and I'm like, guys, you read my what? Huh? So I'm trying to maintain my professional and but I was kind of, my guts are like bubbling, and my heart was like, oh my God, what is this? Especially when he started explaining himself to me. You found my name, what? Yeah. So I let him, go on and introduce himself, and he said he he did speak with the VP, but he didn't go into detail. So he followed up with an email, thanking me for taking time out to have a conversation with him. And then that's when it started, guys. He later came back in the email and advised me that he had advised the VP that he was now my direct contact. His team, they were working together, putting everything together that I wanted. Because he had asked me in the email, and I had to check with Uncle Wiley, make sure this was, what I'm supposed to do. I put together, I had already had like my own something that I do from my past work life and other things
Right.
I've learned along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, with the influence and the extra little tidbit stuff, learning from Uncle Wiley and Goldilocks.
Mm-hmm.
So I put my own little, well, they called
No.
it KYC, but I put my own little
Uh-huh.
bio together
Okay.
and presented that to them. And immediately he came back and said, "Yes, we can help you do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. You need the CPA." Yeah. I mean, he broke down, what that
Mm-hmm.
team is going to consist of
Mm-hmm.
and how, we're going to move forward. Now, first, he wanted to do a personal meet or a Zoom,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess the holidays or whatever. But he's been in
Mm-hmm.
contact with me constantly via email.
Mm-hmm.
And as of today, not yeah as of today um as of today they told me they had everything in place for what they needed to do right now to get ready for next steps. They'll be in contact with me so we can have that sit down because I'm ready to meet them. I want to see these guys face to face. I've
Mm-hmm.
shared that with them so that
Mm-hmm.
we can really get to know. And the key words that they've been using is how they're going to be dedicated to, that's their role, that's their job, to be dedicated to their client, to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that
Mm-hmm.
I am, what do they call, um, can't think, I got so much in my head. Bottom line is that signature in there, he is a private client advisor.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
his
Mm-hmm.
team, I have direct contact to him and he
Mm-hmm.
will direct his team or whatever needs, but they're going to help me with my trust because I need to redo some stuff there. But I'm just blown away, guys, that um I from October 22nd is when I really started to really get into the nitty gritty of this.
Mm-hmm.
And look at this. This is November
Wow.
30th.
Just let's shortly over just a month.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to and they staying. I mean, he checked in like they did for streaming, and then they checked in and say, "Hey, hope you had a good Thanksgiving." Yada yada yada. So we'll be in touch. Any questions you have, here's my direct line. Call me,
Mm-hmm.
and here's
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, thank you.
That's
So
so awesome. It's amazing because um you just literally you continue to get elevated up the ladder and um and especially with the questions presented by Wiley, again, like with everyone else, it separates you from anyone else, and it actually shows them that you're prepared. But then also one thing about you, and I can't take anything away from you, is you mentioned it, your professionalism. You are professional. You can speak you can speak their language, and it's not that you necessarily have to be proficient and know everything that they're saying, but it's not so much of what you say, it's what you don't say. You're not talking about Jamie Dimon and RV and all of this, the guru breath talk. That's not what you're doing.
been there, done that.
And so, but it's so awesome. We're so excited to see how you are just continuously progressing and growing. And I'm sure just like with Stream Bean and Glass Half Full, is this getting fun for you?
Brunette Graham, up, please.
It's getting
Yes.
fun. It's getting fun, huh?
Yes. 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 I mean, I can't, I know the girls, the ladies before me have said it and we've heard it before, but
Mm-hmm.
the peace, the confidence,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gotten to the point now. Um, you Not the disgust emotion, but the excitement about, and you're like, oh God, thank you. This is how you was prepping me to, because that's why I had to do this, because I had to get, oh, why, thank you. And like I said, I'm sure Uncle Wiley knows. I'm sure everybody that that's really on that trope. I I have to reach out to you guys. I got the notes and everything else, and I,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to tweak, some
Mm-hmm.
things, but getting that support from you guys
Mm-hmm.
is fantabulous,
That's what
and
it's all about.
very much appreciated. Very
That's
much
what it's
appreciated.
that's what it's all about. And we appreciate you just being you. You're so helpful in the room, helping new members, guiding them, teaching them, coaching them along the way. And we appreciate you just being you and your love, your energy. I know you got a little bit of flack from some folks that were in some other rooms and all that foolishness, but I bet if they learned where you're at, they would switch places with you in a heartbeat.
Well, I'll just say this: some get it and some don't, and so it's
Yeah, and
not
that's
that
okay.
I'm all that in a bag of chips.
Mm-hmm.
But if a person chooses not to, or they don't have enough, they regardless. I mean, you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. So if you try to guide and share stuff, especially people that have heard our YouTubes, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
but they're still stuck in that mode, regardless
Mm-hmm.
to what you share and try to coach them with.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to politely say, well, you know what? That's the walk you want to walk.
Mm-hmm.
I wish you the best. And that's all I
Right.
can
That's
do.
all. That's
That's all
it.
I can do.
That's all we can do. And just keep on keeping on.
That's right.
Because and look, and again, now it's just like I mentioned a few minutes ago with String Bean. You have your own relationships with your own bankers now. Where the assistant vice president is calling you, this banker is calling you to say, hey, I'm responsible for you now.
Yeah.
I'm your direct contact now.
Yeah.
Well, all the other people that you met with that are my subordinates, I appreciate them. They're important, but I'm going to deal with you directly. That's that white glove treatment that Wiley talks about. That's that VIP treatment that I jokingly tell you, and they getting down on their knees and proposing to you, stalking you at the vegetable aisle at the grocery store. You are in such a great position, and you've been through so much, even in your personal life, when you're with the recent developments, and you're with your beloved better half. All of this is just God's way of saying you are my child, and He's protecting you.
I thank you. Yeah, and I know I say it all the time, and I'll never quit saying it. It's your and Uncle Wiley's fault, but I appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome. We appreciate you. You're welcome, beloved. All right, we're gonna get into these two articles that Goldilocks is sharing that are coming out of Iraq. One is from two from the CBI, and also from the IMF, which is the International Monetary Fund, related to Iraq. For those that don't know, the IMF and the World Bank, for example, they are a part of Bretton Woods. This is a part of the gold standard. We all know that for the dinar, the dong, the USD, and every other currency, in order for the RV to happen, we must have the gold as a standard to back our currencies. Because when we exchange in the new digital financial system, we must have these assets to back our currencies to protect our newfound wealth. How is it you're constantly hearing every weekend, every 3-day weekend, every holiday, the glitch and the victory, December, and when they just said it was last Thursday? When Sadani comes back from Iraq, he's gonna tell the Gazette to post it in the Gazette and tell the CBI governor, blah. Look where we're at. Where is it? Where is it? We don't have gold yet. Just imagine exchanging. You wait to have all this wealth and you exchange into a financial system where if there was a crash, there's nothing to back your newfound wealth, and you go to the bank tomorrow after you just exchange and you thought you had 5, 10, 15, 20 plus $million from an exchange, and you go the next day and there's a couple $1,000s in there because of a bank crash, no gold to back your money. Is that what you want? Is that what you believe? That's okay. If that's what you believe, it's not going to happen that way. Gold is coming. You want to be able to prepare yourself for wealth and to sustain it. I encourage you to establish relationships with the wealth managers and these bankers like Wiley and I are educating you in the room, and how Goldilocks is preparing you on showing you the process every day. It's in your best interest to be prepared properly. And so we're going to get into these recent articles by the CBI that Goldilocks is sharing. It's going to help you to understand the process. There's a link in the description at the top. You can join the members like Lady Unique, String Bean, Glass Half Full, and Brunette Grand, whom you've heard from tonight. All have wealth managers. They all have the actual bankers. One has the banker coming to her home for coffee and coffee and all kind of delicious desserts. I think that that banker coming to Brunette Grand's home might ask to be adopted for some reason. But glass half full. You ready, my young lady?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get to this article out of Iraq. They're very simple, quick, and easy, folks. And I'm going to drop them into the room. Very, very. I appreciate you helping tonight, my beautiful young lady.
Sure.
All right, let's get into this first one, folks. Iraq is actually preparing to raise their minimum wage in the country of Iraq. So just imagine, if a country is raising their minimum wage, that's not a broke nation. For a country to begin raising their minimum wage and it also be related to their new digital economy that they're talking about, this is something that you don't want to take lightly. Also, this very first article from Iraq and about the digitizing of their economy on October the 14th, the meeting that Goldilocks and Dee invited me, I was blessed to be a part of the conference call with the CBI. This is something that they talked about, was the electronic payments and the digitizing of Iraq was all in preparation for them to go international. So glass half full. Let's get going, young lady.
Okay. Al-Najjar explained in a statement to the official agency, followed by Ma'azin News, that the number of electronic payment cards in Iraq has exceeded the barrier of 18 million cards, which means that a third of the population uses this method.
So a third of the population, folks, of Iraqis are now using electronic cards. So it might sound like it's nothing to us because we use electronic cards and have been for quite some time. Debit cards, credit cards. You got to remember, Iraq is just now getting to the point where their economy is classified, and this was from the CBI, as being, their banking system is classified as being digital. So they have gone from the Stone Ages. When we had the call with the CBI on October the 14th, this is where I made the joke to the CBI contact about Iraqis having their dinars under their mattresses, because they have a major campaign, and this campaign is heavily focused on their younger population to become digitized. Okay, you can continue, young lady.
He added that there is a government trend that supports electronic payment through a series of decisions that will contribute to this major transformation in the Iraqi economy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the new electronic payment system in Iraq is going to affect the value of the Iraq dinar.
Okay, let me explain real quick why. The new electronic payment system, folks, is in Iraq is going to affect the value of the Iraq dinar. Why? This goes back to the Iraqis not keeping their dinars under their mattresses, but getting their dinars and depositing them into the new digital banking system. In order for Iraq to revalue their currency, in order for them to go international, remember, folks, we are moving into the new banking system, which is the quantum financial system. It is new. It is electronic. It is digital. Iraq was in the Stone Ages. So in order for the value of the dinar to be a part of going international and the value of the dinar going up, they have to get as much dinar off the streets and into the new banking system, the electronic banking system, so that the AI, so that the ISO 222 compliant tokens and the XRP and Ripple can have the backing of gold and other assets in the banking system digitally, so that the dinar can be backed by gold and other assets digitally in the electronic banking system. That is what helps to raise the value of the dinar. Therefore, it states the electronic payment system in Iraq is going to affect the value of the dinar. As long as Iraqis are keeping the currencies that we hold, as long as they keep them out of the banking system, that negatively affects the value of the dinar. They have to get it into the new digital electronic banking system to help raise the value. That is what their focus is right now. That is what they explained to us, to Goldilocks, Dee, and myself on October the 14th when we had that call. This is what they've shared in articles. This is what they've shared, that by the end of this year, they'll be removing from the electronic platform of the United States. This is all a part of it. And yes, this is also a part of what they need to do with their economic reforms in order to connect to the World Trade Organization. Okay, you can continue, young lady.
Iraq is anticipating the possibility of a potential decrease in value before it starts to move up with mass adoption of the new global digital economy.
Folks that are listening to this, you heard that. This possibility of potential decrease in value, that is in Iraq only. That has nothing to do with us. So there will be a possible decrease in the value of the dinar in Iraq as they transition into the new electronic system. And then it will be able to find its real value in the new electronic system when gold and other commodities are backing the dinar. Okay, go ahead.
Where one goes, we all go. We will rise and fall together. That is for certain. Here is what you need to know. The integration of the Iraqi dinar will at that point be based on a worth given to it through supply and demand.
Mm-hmm.
By pushing towards electronic payments, the CBI aims to decrease the demand for physical U.S. dollars, which could lead to a weaker dinar value.
Mm-hmm.
While a short-term devaluation might occur, a well-functioning electronic payment system could ultimately stabilize the currency by improving financial transparency and reducing black market activity.
Folks, black market activity in Iraq, with what Goldilocks is referring to, is the illegal currency trade market in Iraq, whereby I forget the term that I use for like here in the United States, where you have the illegal numbers running. In Iraq, they have an illegal number running market, and think of it as the illegal dinar market, and it reduces the value. This is grossly reduces the value of the dinar as well. So also the electronic platform that Iraq is going to remove from by the end of this year. It also is connected to them removing from this illegal market. Okay, go ahead.
The actual impact on the dinar will depend on how the market reacts to the new system, including the level of public acceptance and trust in electronic transactions.
Mm-hmm.
The increase will be caused by market conditions as other countries around the world are adopting the new digital economy as well.
So as Iraq folks gets on board with the new digital economy in Iraq and connects to like the World Trade Organization connects to the international market, the globe, the world will also be able to receive the Iraqi dinar. And as it adopts to the new digital economy, again, also globally with gold backing the new system. Okay, go ahead.
Don't worry, market conditions are better than what you are told on the dramatic news channels. Their focus is on a select group of people with a certain mindset that makes money for them per view. You and I have been looking at actual data behind the scenes of the news media, and in the digital economy, things look really good.
And that's from Goldilocks, based on what Goldilocks and Goldilocks' resources are seeing in the global banking system. That's what Goldilocks is telling you, that it looks better than what might be reported on regular mainstream news or these foo-foo channels. Okay, young lady, you can go ahead. Article 4.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Article 4, consultation with Iraq recommendation.
Okay, one second, real quick. 1 second, beloved. For folks, Article 4, consultation with Iraq. This is something that Iraq completed, that the IMF completed with Iraq earlier this year. And also, they also completed this for Vietnam. This is a consultation. This is a holistic consultation. Think of an audit, an internal audit of all of the books, all of the transactions and the banking system within Iraq. The IMF, they do this with most countries around the world to give them an outlook on, like an economic outlook, things that they need to change in order to improve their economy, to improve their currency, things they need to change for growth, so forth and so on. When you see Article 4, you hear Article 4 consultation. This is from the IMF. And yes, they did the same for Vietnam. And actually, Goldilocks earlier this year shared that as well. Okay, continue, my young lady.
Reducing oil dependence and ensuring fiscal sustainability while protecting critical social and investment spending will require a significant fiscal adjustment focused on controlling the public wage bill and increasing non-oil tax revenues. In parallel, higher economic growth will be needed to absorb the rapidly expanding labor force, boost non-oil exports, and broaden the tax base. The authorities should therefore seek to enable private sector development, including through labor market reforms, modernization of financial sector, and restructuring of state-owned banks, pension and electricity sector reforms, and continued efforts to improve governance and reduce corruption.
Now, folks, when you hear about the labor force, this is where we're going to get into where the CBI announced where they're going to be increasing the minimum wage in Iraq. This is related to the labor force. This brings revenue by increasing jobs within Iraq. Also, when it comes to more jobs, when it comes to increased wages, that means the people will spend more dinar as well. Therefore, the demand for the dinar goes up globally because the people in the country are making more money. More people within Iraq are making more money. They will spend more money. So they will spend more dinar because their wages are going up. And again, a country that is so weak and so desolate, they're not going to raise the wages of the people if their currency and country is that weak. So think to yourself, with Iraq being a quasi third world country. Well, I'll call them an emerging economy. Why is it that they're considering to raise the minimum wage in Iraq? Think about it. Okay, you can continue.
Yes, the wage bill in Iraq has led to policy discussions and guidance on wages and employment. A wage guide for a country is a reference point that outlines the typical salary ranges for different job roles within a specific country, often including factors like industry, experience level, location, and sometimes even minimum wage requirements, providing a general understanding of what people in various positions can expect to earn in that region.
Now, folks, this Article 4 consultation from the IMF included this consideration to raise the minimum wage in Iraq. And this is what this is connected to. You can go ahead, young lady.
Okay, the Central Bank of Iraq, the CBI, is responsible for the following: issuing and managing the Iraqi dinar. The CBI is the only entity that can issue the Iraqi dinar, the country's national currency.
Mm-hmm.
Regulating private banks, the CBI regulates the banking sector.
Mm-hmm.
Managing reserves, the CBI manages the state foreign exchange reserves and gold.
Mm-hmm.
Implementing monetary policy, the CBI implements monetary policy and exchange rate policies. Maintaining price stability, the CBI works to maintain price stability within the country.
That previous one she just mentioned, she just read, implementing the monetary policy, the CBI implements monetary policy and exchange rate policies. Folks, if you hear anyone, and folks that are members of our room, you know this, or you know this already. If you hear someone telling you that, oh, Al-Sadani is going to change the rate of the dinar, and he's going to... Now, he has stated that the value of the dinar, has he stated the value of the dinar will be stronger than the dollar? Yes, but he can't change the value of the dinar. That comes from the CBI, ladies and gentlemen. The CBI only. Okay, you can continue, young lady.
Iraq's public wage bill is a significant portion of the country's budget and has been increasing in recent years. A positive fiscal policy judgment, especially one that indicates strong economic growth and stability, can potentially cause a currency's value to rise as it attracts foreign investment and increases demand for that currency in the global market.
Iraq's public wage bill is a significant portion of the country's budget. Folks, do you remember this budget that you've been told that, oh, the HCL, so forth and so on, and we've been sharing with you, don't fall for the foo-foo. The HCL has nothing to do with the RV. This budget is an operations and expense budget, and this is where the salaries of the employees and projects within the budget are from or public projects from the government. This is directly from the IMF. Iraq's public wage bill is a significant portion of the country's budget. So the wages, the Iraq's budget that you're constantly hearing about, the tripartite budget, it's an operations and expense budget. The salaries, I don't know if you all may remember, we told you this is the salaries, the pensions, so forth and so on. That's what that budget is. And this is telling you. So I just had to, you can continue, young lady.
Amendment of the wage guide collected by the Central Bank of Iraq. Iraq has been working on their fiscal adjustment rates for the retail market since Article 4 consultation with the IMF last March. They have reached the amendment stage, justifying the need to change in their wage guide for the Iraqi people. This new amendment will provide governance for this new amendment.
They have reached the amendment stage, justifying the need for change in their wage guide for the Iraqi people. So, folks, this is indicating and letting you know they are considering to increase the wages, the wage of the Iraqis. Where's this money coming from? within Iraq itself. They're moving away from largely depending on oil. 80% of Iraq's revenue comes from oil dependency. The private sector, investment projects like the Development Road Project and other major projects, and also, yes, going international is what will provide additional revenue to the country of Iraq. Their people will be able to afford more goods and services. Their money will go a lot further when the minimum wage of the country also goes up. Folks, you got to remember, that's in Dinar, the increase. Therefore, it affects the whole entire country. This is directly from the CBI. We will share this also in the description. If anyone wants to go and look at it for yourself, there is the receipts. My young lady, thank you so much.
Well, you're certainly welcome.
Glass half full. You're such a professional reader. Did you used to do this as a profession before somewhere?
No.
You're just so good at it.
Well, thank you.
You got me spoiled. I might be asking you every Saturday, but I'm not going to ask you every Saturday. But thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And again, congratulations on your jackpot with your bankers and their proprietary software for tax advantages. I'm not going to use the word you use, but okay. I love it.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, beautiful folks. You have heard from 4 amazing members who have relationships with the actual bankers who will exchange their currency, manage their wealth after they exchange their currency. And also you heard how Iraq is in the process of increasing their minimum wage of the Iraqi people, and how Article 4, the consultation with the IMF, which is a part of the Bretton Woods, is preparing Iraq for major new developments within their banking system. No coincidence. This is directly from the CBI. Goldilocks has been tracking this and on top of this for quite some time, and now it is coming out from the CBI. Again, there is a link in the description for anyone listening to this. You want to join our members who are actually having bankers come to their home for tea and crumpets. If you are having bankers that are calling directly, vice presidents, assistant vice presidents, calling you directly to say that you will be directly with them and they will help to manage your wealth, you're more than welcome to come and join us in the room. If you have any questions, if you would like to be a part of the tribe and the family with many members who will help you and guide you along the way, like the members you heard from tonight. All right. It is 11:15. We made some good time. We're not going to have Q&A tonight. So we are going to end this call. We hope that you all enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be kind, be well, and be in unconditional love. Everyone take care. Have a good night. Ciao.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.